Ready? Hey good people, welcome back to the channel. Y'all already see where we at, so let's get into it. I allowed this smoked turkey drumstick to boil for a little over an hour, and the meat was able to shred off the bone. The ribs are soaking in some vinegar water. I am not even sure what that does, but that's what my mom used to do, so I do it also. This is a batch of kale, mostly kale and mustard greens. I know everybody eats collards for the holidays, but we wanted to do something different. As of late, we've been loving kale greens. And as you can see, I always clean as I go. So once I get a pile completed, I roll them up tightly the same way you would roll collard greens or any other kind of greens. Get you a nice firm hold and begin to slice at your desired measurement. Just going to continue to slice until that whole roll is complete. And you just do the same process over and over again. It's self-explanatory. Now I'm just dumping these into this massive size bowl that I found. I love this bowl. Look how many greens it holds. Always cleanse your greens thoroughly. I don't trust the ones in the bag that say been washed, pre-washed. No, sir, no, ma'am. And I rinse out the bowl, and each time I go through the cleanse cycle, I rinse out the bowl. It is very important to cleanse your greens thoroughly so they're not gritty. Some people put soap in their water. I do not. I just give my greens a good salt water bath. And I just repeat this process until done. And I wash these about 3 times. Look at the size of that leg. Smoked turkey leg. I season my stock with chicken bouillon, a little pepper, a little soul food seasoning, green seasoning, and of course some crushed red peppers. You can season your stock any way you like. And the way I season these kale and mustard greens is basically the way I season all my greens. That was a large onion and a large pepper, and they'll be also dropped into the pot once the greens are in the pot. That's the lineup. And I'm just stuffing these greens. Don't look like they all gonna make it, but they gonna make it. They cook down. And I chose kale and mustard. Again, when I cook during this season, I do things thinking of immunity, especially as it concerns my baby girl. So kale is good for digestion and is high in iron and vitamin C. And it also promotes a healthy liver. It has an earthy taste. And mustard greens, they speed up metabolism. They also aid in digestion, and they soothe a sore throat, bronchitis, or pneumonia. And unfortunately, in our household, my children have dealt with all of these symptoms. But I believe most greens have healing properties, so I always make greens. A nice amount of shredded meat here. And you're going to just see me dump that into that pot of greens. And you'll see how they started to cook down. It gave a great amount. Look at that. I told y'all I was going to fit them greens into that pot. I've been doing this for a long time, decades. Look at that. Here you see me seasoning the ribs. The first thing I do is put some mustard on them and rub it in. And mustard is really not to taste. I'm sure it gives it some flavor, but mustard is a binder. It's going to help those seasonings stick well. These ribs got a good massage. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. That's the purpose of soap and running water. You can always go back and forth and wash your hands. But you need to get in there and rub in that mustard and rub and pat in those seasonings. So I'm getting ready to show you the seasoning lineup in a moment. I'll really show you at the end of this part. If I had a choice, I would really use smoking and grilling with AB. That rub, I'm going to have to order it. And Mr. Make It Happen, their all-purpose seasoning, I would use that. Those are also two great channels if you want to learn how to cook things. Mr. Make It Happen and Smoking and Grilling with AB. Awesome channels for recipes of all sorts. Don't be stingy with your seasonings. You won't regret it. This is the lineup. Seasoning salt, slap your mama. Of course, Tony's has to be in there. Adobo, garlic powder, and a little soul food seasoning. This is my heart, my soul, my mini me. Let's see what she says.
Look at Ruben.
A little flavorful.
Do they need anything?
No, I think they're good.
That's my darling girl. So this is the ribs. I am going to cut them up, and tomorrow I'll sauce them up and put them back in the oven. But this is the first peek. Looking good. You could also use liquid smoke when you do your ribs in the oven. But again, that's something that I did not do. But I have a whole lineup of things I'm going to be showing you guys soon. But this is the end result of those ribs cut up. This is the end result of those greens. Look how those greens cook down. You work like a Hebrew slave for all of greens to cook down. This is my A1 from day one right here.
Now give Ruger that piece of meat I saved him, please.
He trying to say
And for
something.
you, Tootie.
Ruger is always on standby.
Good boy. Good boy.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye. Be blessed for now.